Good evening. Hand today is Ace Jack of Spades. This is also a hand that I've reviewed previously as part of a hand rating exercises. This is now range versus range. So, fold it around. Villain 5 in mid position raises 2.2. I think that's kind of telling. It's not your standard type of raise. Could be something rather weak. Could be, something like weaker hands. Yeah, players might get a little bit trappy and say that they want to raise smaller to encourage more callers, but I think we end up saying that the smaller bets typically are more of these speculative hands. They don't want to raise big because they're scared of losing them. In this hand, mid position, he raises first in about 21% of the time. I'm not sure if I have anything. Yeah, I didn't see it, but I could see it raised 2.2, so that's going to give his hand away. I'm not going to really look at that in any way. Now, how he plays, I've got 415 hands, so I'm going to assume that he is kind of raising something along these lines. That's 15%. If you add in these hands, you get up to 19.2, which I think is probably about right for him. Maybe the jacks is a hand that he raises larger. And then I might be missing some hands. Maybe he has these offsuit Broadways as well. We'll go with that range. I'm in the cutoff, and I chose to call. So let's talk about the call decision. Do I have a lot of players that are super loose that would call and make this a multi-way pot? It doesn't look like it. This guy's 19-13, calls 2-bet 16% of the time. This guy's 18-14, calls 2-bet 6%. He calls at 9%. I don't think we really have to try to raise to get it heads up versus this guy. We could call. That being said, what advantage would we have for raising? Well, I think with his raise size, it suggests that he has a weaker type of hand. So I think if we're going to 3-bet, we could 3-bet that. But I also think we could probably 3-bet some of these other hands that are kind of at the top of his range. So if he calls, he's calling at the top, and we kind of block those hands. So things like, king, queen, king, jack. I mean, if we hold a king, it makes it less likely that he has these types of hands. If we have aces, any ace in our hand, it's going to be less likely that he has those hands. Now, I don't think we should raise with those middle ones, because he could easily call with that. I'm okay raising with the smaller hands, with the smaller ace-x hands, because we do have straight potential. I think we could probably raise with some of these hands down here as well. I think that, we're raising to try to get him to fold, but I think if called, we're going to be in a bad situation. So I think I'm probably doing something more like this with a little bit of these hands, and maybe I don't even know if I'm going to do that. So right now he folds 20% of times, then he raises and then faces a 3-bet. So I think I'm going to skew a little bit stronger because he's probably going to be calling with a lot more weaker hands. I didn't do that, I just called, so I'm sure this was probably my calling range here. And, against this player, yeah, I think we can kind of get rid of things. I think we could call realistically with that hand. I think we can call with these hands, type speculative hands. I think we're raising those. I think ace 10, ace jack could be a call, although I'm not sure. I think maybe something a little bit more like that. But we're going to continue with this range because I think that's what I was playing, or it was close to what I was playing when I played this hand. As expected, everyone folds, so we see a flop. Now you can see that I have a pretty narrow range, 5.28% of hands. I've got 70 combos. and it's a narrower range than villain, but villain's going to have more hands that he's going to probably have to dump at some point because he doesn't connect. So right now you can see that I do have tighter range. Most of it is these pocket pairs. I don't have a whole lot of unpaired hands. Board comes 10, 8, 7, 2 hearts. So 10 of hearts, 8 of hearts, and 7 of diamonds. Now you can see my equity is pretty good because I do have more pairs in my hand than he does. But I think both of us have the potential to hit this board in some way. Villain checks. Now I'm not surprised. Villain looks like he becomes passive post flop. Maybe because he's, well, I don't know why he would do that, but he c-bets 45% when he's in position. You c-bets 27% when he's out of position, and then it gets even lower. So I think that he's going to be very cautious with what hands c-bet, and probably only c-bet something like maybe 2 pairs plus. I'm not even sure if he would c-bet any of his draws. We're going to say top pair plus over pair is a hand that he might c-bet. Out of position is 22.7%. I think based on his stats, I'm going to assume that he would check his flush draws. So then it's to me, what do I do? Well, if he's going to be betting a lot of his pairs and checking his draws, I do think we're going to be able to bet for value with our pairs, middle pair plus. I also think we could probably bet as a bluff or semi-bluff with our flushes, our open-end straight draws, our gut shots, queen jack, I think would be okay. One card gut shot, so like king jack, maybe. That might be getting a little bit too much in terms of like a raise. Well, actually, if he checked, I think we're going to be betting those and probably betting all of these combo draws. Nah, so he checks, and I think we should be probably betting this. It's about, what, 3 bluffs for every 1 value. We do have a lot. We're trying to see what he's going to do. If he folds, that's great. And in terms of bet size, probably like 4 or 5. I checked, so let's get this. Let's X out our flush draws, open and straight draws, or gut shots. I think these 1 card gut shots, I don't think we would necessarily play them as a raise, so they could be in our drawing hands. So 46%, that's going to be our checking range, getting rid of those cards. So that is 46.6%. We've got 27 combos. They definitely have some advantage on us now, equity advantage. They've got a lot of draws, basically. Oops, hold on. Not quite. Let's fix that. That's what I thought he was going to bet. He didn't bet. He checked. So, get those out. That's a little bit better. So 77.3%. He has 140 combos. He's got a lot of weak hands. Turns a 5 of diamonds. And you can see that my equity actually improved a little bit. Now he bets 4.4, which is, I think, telling. He normally doesn't, so I think we're dealing with the set plus maybe dealing with the flush draw at this point. I don't know, set. I don't know, pocket pair below the top card, maybe. So nines, maybe. Middle pair. He's feeling a little bit better with. I still not sure if he's going to bet his draws. So something like that, maybe 11.1%. He bets, and then it's on us. What do we do with this? I think we raise our sets. I think we 3-bet with our sets, and then in terms of everything else, we need 30% equity to call. I don't think a weak pair has that. I think we can get it with a flush draw, with any of the flush draws, and I think we could probably get it with an open-ended straight draw with those sixes, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Although we have to be worried about, the redraws. So I think all that we can really call are the flush draws. I'm not even sure if I can call the straight draws. So let's do that. So if we call with all of our flush draws, we have 28.77% equity. If we call with our straight draw, we only have 18%. So maybe not even a flush draw. Maybe this is just going to be a standard fold here. Given how he plays, how he's passive post flop, he probably has a hand, and he bet a size that we're really not getting the odds to draw. Now, if we draw with that flush or the straight, can we get paid off? Let's see his river. Call river bets. Let's call a bet 0 out of 7. Won at showdown 45%. Went to showdown 25%. Maybe. I guess it's possible. So yeah, we don't need a whole lot more equity to make this profitable. I actually think we'll probably get called a little bit more with our sixes, but even then, I'm not so sure. Gut shots, I think. Ace jack, king jack, yeah. So I think those are going to be the hands that kind of pay us off if we happen to hit that gut shot, and those are in this turn draw. So ace jack, king jack, queen, king queen. So that's going to be the hands that I think we would probably call here. So that's my turn range, which is basically 3 combos. And their turn range, we've narrowed it down. They've got 15 combos. Oops. Ooh. I raised. I did not call. I forgot about that. So yeah, I think I was doing it with the set. Is he gonna fold anything? I think he folds these. So maybe the only hands. I mean, that's a bluff. I don't like it. We're gonna say he only calls with the set. So, and really, that's fives. So he was gonna fold a lot. 3 combos. And that means, what do? I mean, I myself have a set, but we have to find some other draws. And I think that is where that diamond draw maybe could offset it. 3 and 3, give us 50-50. But I don't think so. I think given, well, he's going to fold a lot. Maybe we need to also throw in our gut shots as well. It's kind of lopsided. That's a little bit better. Well, let's continue. I raised. Is that a good size raise? I think it needs to be bigger. 4.4, I think we need to raise it to 12 or 15. Well, probably 15. Make it large. Make it seem like we have a hand. Maybe seem like we have 6-4 or Queen Jack, nine Jack, Jack nine maybe, and we don't want to get rivered. He calls, 3 hearts comes. This is all messed up because I raised. I don't like that raise. He checks, and I think we're going to have to check. So, when you look at what we have, I mean, if he only has a set, we don't have a set, we're going to miss. I don't think he's ever going to fold. I don't think he's ever going to fold. So, he shows ace 10, which is odd because he didn't bet. I assumed he would have bet top pair, but maybe he doesn't. So if he doesn't, then we have 5 of diamonds. And he bets his set and his top pair. And then if we raise, does he ever fold his top pair with the ace? Probably not. Probably not. And again, I just don't have enough. I think it looks better if we call with the flush draw, maybe with his straight draw, and then if a heart or a diamond comes and he checks, then I think we go ahead and bet. We try to represent that draw that we called with. I think that's consistent with how we played. Could we have bet the flop? I don't know. I don't think our hand. So our hand was ace jack. I don't think our hand was suitable for that. Yeah, we had a gut shot, but we don't have really any backdoor draw. I think ace jack of diamonds would make for a better bet on the flop. And then we pick up equity with the diamonds. But once he calls, given this player, I think it'd probably be best to just check behind, see what he does on the river, and then either bet if he checks to us, or just kind of fold if he bets to us, because he's never gonna. I don't think this guy's a guy that bets as a bluff or as a semi bluff, at least according to his c-bet stats. All right, bad hand. Don't like how I played it. Definitely don't like how I played it today. Not sure what I was thinking, but it's good to review these and think about what kind of hands should I be making some of these plays with. And I think this hand was just a bad hand. All right, if you like this hand, look tomorrow for another.